7:36 at Rome's News Talk WRGA, as well as your house or place of business. Glad you're with us on this Wednesday, get you over the hump day morning, and we're going to do a little extended session this morning with Josh Brown, who is, I'm disappointed. I was expecting either a fiddle or a guitar or a banjo this morning.
I thought about bringing it, man. I thought about bringing it, and then I thought about asking my banjo player to show up. His name's Bryce Hicks, and he runs an HVAC company. And so if you know about that world, those guys,
yeah,
they're out there.
They're working right now
until about 10 p.m.,
Yeah,
so
that's
just me.
The summer heat kind of does things to air conditioning systems, and yeah. So how many? Tell me what. Let's just start with the basics. What happened to the Murchie Bluegrass Festival in Labor Day?
I don't know. So they put out a post. The official Murchie Bluegrass Festival Facebook page put out a post early July, and just said that there will be no Labor Day festival because of facility repairs. I don't know the details, but then they kind of amended the post and said, "Oh, but there's still some camping and jamming." So, if you've ever been there before, it's like a campground loop.
Yeah.
And then it's a really cool stage and like covered stage. I mean, it's awesome.
Pavilion.
Yeah, pavilion.
Yeah.
Looks like it just walked out of 1979. It's so awesome.
It might have been 1949.
Yeah. It's super cool. If you've never been there, it's a must go to. And then there's like a little restaurant diner thing and some bathhouses. And so I don't know what the facility repair entails, but anyways, they called off their Labor Day festival because of facility repairs. I'm assuming it's stage stuff, perhaps, because there's no stage show. So if you ever go, there's like 2 full days of live bands playing on that stage. So anyways, this was early July when they made that post, and I'm in a band called the Dixie Ramblers. You ever heard of us, Doug?
Yes, I have. I have indeed. I'll tell you. Go ahead. Finish the story, and then I'll tell you my bluegrass history.
So Bryce Hicks calls me, and he's like, "Hey, we should put our own festival together with some stage shows since they're not having theirs." And I was like, "Okay." And I was like, if we do this, we're going to do it, man.
Do I hear the trepidation in your voice?
I was like, there's not a lot of time between now and Labor Day weekend, right? So we went back and forth about a name and landed on RamblerFest to pay homage to the Dixie Ramblers, and we decided to host it. So back in the day, forever, these bands would host their own bluegrass festivals, And so not that we are that caliber of, artists or whatever, but it'd be cool to host our own bluegrass festival. So we decided to call it RamblerFest, and I built a website, and we launched our Facebook page, and we did like this video announcement thing. And I'll back up. So we needed a venue, right?
Right. Yeah, that's important.
So Bryce grew up going to this place called the Outpost Bluegrass Barn down in Tallapoosa. It's technically in Waco. Like the address is in Waco, but it's really like Tallapoosa.
If you blink, you miss it.
Yeah. So everybody in bluegrass around here knows about the Outpost. Well, COVID really hurt it real bad, and then it kind of barely hung on for a couple more years, and it closed down in 2023. Well, it's still there. The owner is an 89-year-old gentleman named Thomas Gray, who owns and runs this really cool antique gun store in downtown Tallapoosa, and just a great guy. So he built this place, him and his wife. I think he built it kind of for his wife, but this was like back in, I think 1990 was its first year of operation.
Okay.
And so throughout the 90s, early to mid 2000s, it hosted guys like Larry Sparks, Ralph II, Doyle Lawson came through there. So it's got a rich history.
Some names,
of bluegrass. Yeah. So anyways, Bryce reaches out to Thomas and says, "Hey, we're thinking about doing a bluegrass festival Labor Day weekend since our Murchie called their Labor Day festival off. What do you think about us doing it at the Outpost?" And Thomas says, "Come on," and basically gives us the keys, or gives Bryce the keys, and we just did it. And before we launched it, I was like, "Bryce, I need to go out there and see this place because no one's been in there for a couple years. So let's go out and see it and see if we could actually do this first." So
see how much work is involved in
yeah.
So getting it ready.
We drove out there on a Friday evening, Turn the lights on. Everything still works. The lights still work. The HVAC system still works. There was cobwebs, as you can imagine, and some pest issues. And we were like, yeah, we can do this. It's going to take a few Saturdays to deep clean this place. And there's kudzu outside that had kind of covered up the picking area. So anyways, we launched it, and it's kind of blown up on Facebook. So a lot of people in Northwest Georgia and West Georgia just love the Outpost Bluegrass Barn, and Bluegrass Today did a really cool little write-up on it. Bluegrass Today is kind of like the, not that there's many bluegrass, news outlets, but it's the biggest one, I think. So they did a cool story on it. The Rome News Tribune did a story on it. Severo over there did a really cool write-up. And we've just kind of, the Facebook page is really kind of blown up from 0 to like almost 1,000 in like 3 weeks. And we've got some sponsors. And so anyways, the idea is we don't have a lot of time to book artists, obviously. So we got a lot of friends helping us out, basically playing for free. And anything that we earn from this festival goes right back into the Outpost. So
to sort of revive that facility.
Yeah, so it's going to be ready for Labor Day weekend for sure. But it needs some ongoing, just TLC stuff, some ceiling stuff, some roof stuff, some drainage issues. We took care of the pest control problem because I made Harrelson a sponsor. So it'll be ready to go. But if you come out there, you'll notice that it just needs some ongoing love. Our vision for it is, before it shut down, they were doing live bluegrass there, I think every Friday night, and that's just maybe not sustainable. So I think the goal is to get it up and running, and maybe do a festival there a year, maybe two.
Maybe do something once a quarter, maybe.
Yeah, it could be a venue. Milltown Music, right?
It's not far.
I could see it being something like that, maybe. But I just want to get through this festival, assuming it goes well, and then we can talk about some future events there. So
okay. Now, how many guys are in your band?
We have, we have 5 or 6, depending on the gig. So I was in another band last year called U Harley Creek. There's a guy named Billy Butterworth who plays mandolin down in Rockmart. So I was there with him. And then over the winter, I've been friends with Bryce Hicks and Jesse Slay with the Dixie Ramblers for a while. And they were like, "Hey, would you want to join our band?" I was like, "Yeah." And so I joined their band over the winter, and we practiced a few times. And the Dixie Ramblers are kind of like a lot of old school bluegrass people in the area think that we play like too fast. It's fast.
I was fixing to say, can you play bluegrass too fast?
Well, it's kind of an illusion because Jesse, our guitar player, he like headbangs. Like he's like into it. So he looks like he's playing faster than he is. But if you listen to the old Lester Flatt stuff, a lot of the old Bill Monroe stuff, like they played fast, like super fast. So I argue that we play just as fast as the old school guys. We just have a little more energy. So, all
right, we're going to come back and talk more with Josh right after this timeout. We're back with you at 7:51 at Rome's News Talk WRGA. Josh Brown is in with us from the Dixie Ramblers, talking about the upcoming Labor Day weekend. Would I call it down in Waco, or would I say just?
You know what? That's a good question.
Temple, Harrelson County.
I would just say like Tallapoosa.
Okay.
It's closer to Tallapoosa.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's not a bad drive. It's 40 miles.
It's not bad. No. I live in Rockmart, so it's closer. And there's a lot of folks who listen that are living in Cedartown, so it's a short drive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Cedartown.
What's going down 100? It's not about 20 miles or so.
Yep. Or you can also go down like 27 and just hang a right, go through.
Go into Buchanan and hang a right.
Yep. But yeah, RamblerFest. We're going to have a potluck supper Friday night, the 29th, and jamming, and then stage shows Saturday the 30th from noon till about 10 p.m. So a full day of bluegrass. If you are a bluegrass fan and just love going and sitting in your camp chair and hanging out, then it is going to be well worth it, for sure. And if you're a picker,
that's what a bluegrass festival is all about, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice to have the shows, but just sitting around your camper or whatever,
Yep.
and getting a group of guys over and doing the completely impromptu, hey, you're from where in North Carolina? Or you're from where in Tennessee?
Yeah.
And all get together and do the picking. I mean, that's fun.
Yeah, the jamming is the best part of a bluegrass festival. And let me just say, if you're here in Rome, in this area and don't want to drive that far and just want to go and pick and hang out, there are some pickers that are still going to Armurchie that are camping out and jamming. And they get there like Thursday or maybe even Wednesday. They get there early and they stay through Sunday. So that's still an option. But if you want to go, if you're not a picker, you want to go and just enjoy a stage show, then come out to RamblerFest down in Waco /Tallapoosa.
There you go. When I told you my experience with bluegrass, when I was a kid growing up in suburban Washington, D.C., the place where most of my crew would use their fake ID to get into in Georgetown in Washington, D.C. was a place called the Cellar Door.
Oh.
An absolutely legendary bluegrass location, right not far from Georgetown University.
Oh.
Kind of right across the Key Bridge from Roslyn in Northern Virginia. And the group that I grew up on and would use my... I'm just being very transparent to you. use my bogus ID for was not so much to drink, truly, honestly, as much as it was to get in and see the shows. But my favorite band was a group called the Seldom Seen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're legendary. But that's old. I don't know whether they still exist in some way, shape, or form today
awesome.
or not. But we
cool.
loved that. And then after I graduated at Auburn, I went back to work in D.C. at the Civil Service Commission for about from April of '76 through November of '78. I bought a banjo. I mean, I enjoyed bluegrass that much. I bought a banjo. But I could never get the two hands to work together.
Yeah, I can't either.
I tried. I love it. Boy, you talk about Roy Clark.
Oh,
Roy Clark, one of my heroes.
Roy Clark might be one of the most underrated musicians ever. Him and Jerry Reed. Like, Roy Clark could just destroy a guitar and a banjo.
Oh, golly.
And a fiddle.
Yes. Roy Clark could play anything.
Yeah.
Roy Clark could just play anything. But anyway, that was my history with bluegrass. Now, that said, I'm going to be completely transparent. I can't do that all day. Because all day, the sound kind of starts sounding the same.
That's what my wife says. Yeah.
Well, and I'm that way. My sister sings with a women's Sweet Adeline's barbershop harmony chorus in Northern Virginia now.
Okay.
And I'm the same way with that. That 4-part harmony, I can enjoy. Enjoy the show, the hour and a half, 2-hour show.
Yeah.
But I can't do it all day.
Right. I need to make Doug Walker like an official mixed CD. It's 1994. I'm gonna make you, Doug, the quintessential bluegrass mix CD that'll kind of cover the gamut from the fast stuff that maybe sounds similar to like some slow stuff, some soulful stuff, and we'll go from there.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll hold you to that.
I can tell it's in your blood.
Yeah,
Doug.
I'll hold you to that. I mean, I do. I love it. I loved going out to Armurchie, to that festival, and just walking around, interviewing some of the and I'll say old timers because largely they were the demographic skewed a little older.
Sure.
But the guys sitting around their campers, sitting on a rock, not necessarily in a chair, but just literally picking and grinning. And I mean, you talk about true joy.
Yeah.
I mean, they were having fun.
Yep.
And, man, that's kind of what life is all about.
Yeah, man.
You're having a good time, enjoying it to the best you can, and there's much too little of that today. Much, much, much too little of that today. But those bluegrass festivals, they meet the bill.
They do.
Yeah.
They're so
Tell you
much
what,
fun.
we're going to take a break. We'll come back. We're keeping Josh for another half hour before we have Joel Thornton come in at 8:30 for us this morning. We'll get to maybe tell you about maybe some of the other groups that are going to be coming that they know are going to be there for RamblerFest. Coming up on 9 minutes after 8 o'clock here at WRGA 98.7 FM, 1470 AM, Georgia's 6th oldest radio station. Josh Brown in with us this morning. We're talking about the RamblerFest coming up down in Tallapoosa /Waco /Haralson County / just south of Cedartown. How many bands at this point do you all have committed to that event?
We've got 7 bands, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bands. Yeah. So from noon to about 10 p.m., tons of bands. It's going to be great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And that'll be Saturday
the 30th.
Right.
That's right. So when we announced this, we wanted to start off small because we knew we had a short amount of time to book bands. We didn't have a budget, so we knew it was going to be asking favors, and the proceeds were going to go back into the outpost. So Saturday the 30th. And we're going to have food trucks too. And, Doug, bouncy houses for kids.
All right.
One of the things we wanted to do with RamblerFest is make it kid-friendly. Not that a bluegrass festival is not kid-friendly, because, by proxy, you can take your 6-year-old to hear some bluegrass, right?
Sure.
But we wanted to intentionally welcome kids, welcome parents with kids. So we're going to have bouncy houses and I think a slide thing. And the first ever that I know about, at least in Georgia.
You're like going through the drive-through window.
Yeah.
Where they say, "Is there anything else?" I mean, those are the worst 4 words in the English language. Is there anything else? Because they'll sit there and stop and think.
Hey, listen, you gave me a microphone, Doug. Listen. So, and the first ever, I think, in Georgia, Kids Bluegrass Jam, hosted by Jesse Slay, the guitar player for the Dixie Ramblers. So, it's kind of a bluegrass workshop. So if you have a kid who is into bluegrass, who's interested in bluegrass, who has showed some interest in bluegrass, please come, because Saturday morning around 10 a.m. he's going to do a little bluegrass workshop for kiddos.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And that lowers the demographic a little bit for future fans.
There you go.
Whatnot. I mean, a kid.
We got to keep bluegrass alive, man.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly don't want to say it's a dying genre, because it's not. But it is an older genre, and kind of the Appalachian, the mountain region. It's almost folk-ish. Type of a scenario. So a good bluegrass band has how many instruments?
Well, that depends. You always need a guitar.
Yeah.
Right. Guitar, fiddle, mandolin, banjo, upright bass.
So 5 at least.
Sometimes it's a guitar, mandolin, banjo, upright bass. Sometimes it's a guitar, fiddle, banjo, upright bass. So the fiddle and the mandolin, sometimes you can have one or the other.
Now the upright bass, that's one that I think is not necessarily a dying art, but you don't see a whole lot of youngsters playing an upright bass.
You don't. Yeah, it's if you're a kiddo and want to get in and get in a band, listen, we need fiddle players real bad. And upright bass players. There's not a lot of them.
Not violinists.
Yeah. When you go to
fiddle players.
Right. You don't say violin, Doug. It's fiddle, okay?
Correct.
So if you go to a bluegrass jam, it's like 80 guitars, 37 banjos, and like 1 fiddle player, at least in Georgia. So we need fiddle players.
Need fiddlers,
we need some mandolin players too, and some upright bass players. But we're sensing kind of a little bit of a bluegrass resurgence, though, and a lot of it really is guys like Billy Strings. I mean, he's literally selling out massive venues across the country, so he's done a lot of really cool stuff for bluegrass. Now, a lot of old timers don't like Billy Strings because he He gets into the reefer, Doug, if you know what that is, and, has a good time and has a pedal board. He gets kind of weird, but he grew up playing traditional bluegrass with his dad, and he's done some really cool stuff, I think, for the genre. And then you got Molly Tuttle, some more eclectic sort of stuff going on there. How
about women? How about? I mean, are the number of women in bluegrass holding their own, so to say? Or?
I think so. My favorite vocalist actually